Now, when deciding to define or explain what we mean when we talk about magic, I certainly do not want to burden you down with a proper definition of this word, which explains it all. I don't even want to burden you down with a definition immediately, with the ultimate definition that we have. And I definitely do not want to beautify such definitions with a lot of pseudo-esoteric mumbo-jumbo, which typically is rooted in misunderstood pop science. No quantum science, no nanotechnology, no unified experiential field theories, and no morphogenetic fields. You know already that with the word magic we describe a specific class of practices which we can use to cause change in our environments. Change which quite often involves operations at a distance, and more often than not involves those operations at a distance to places which we cannot immediately reach with our hand. In the following, I'm going to examine to what type practices we can assign the label of magic and what some of the common elements of these practices are. That's important to develop new methods. From this, we are going to develop an elementary mapping or a theory which can help you understand the various technologies or systems, most importantly, learn it as fast systems of magic, and on the basis on which you can then develop your magical skills easily and rapidly. Let's now begin with a few scenarios of well-known practices, all of which people tend to call magic. Case number 1. An old recipe to heal a person is to pull 7 hairs of that person, then drill a hole into a vigorous tree and put the 7 hairs into the hole. Then plug the hole with the wood of the same tree. Person will feel better. Depending on the disease, I don't know. If it, in the good old times, this bubonic plagues probably didn't get healed, but at least felt better. Number 2, some people call it the doctor, fabricates a doll. He puts hair and fingernails or small pieces of clothing of the target person into the doll, and perhaps a pre-calculated time he uses, and he goes to a graveyard, puts the doll into the open grave, any open grave, hiding it of course. And the person whom he targets may get sick, perhaps may even die. Number 3, an old recipe against wounds that pus, quite interesting, was used before penicillin came into being, and then of course we have a lot more stuff that is easier to use than penicillin in nowadays. Take some of the pus out of the wound with a cotton swab and put it into a copper sulfate. The wound heals a lot faster. In fact, there are some advantages over penicillin. Case number 4, set up a ceremonial table with candles, incenses, and so on, and on a piece of paper draw a square with some letters inscribed in the square, and to the left and to the right sides of the square write the names of the people who should fall in love. Then project life energy into the letter square and the paper. Then burn the paper. Send off the energy basically. Case number 5. A radionic specialist takes one of those famous black boxes for radionic devices, and you can check about radionic devices and the technology in www.radionics.org. Use a pendulum or the stick pad on the device, and with this you can determine the settings of the dials, for instance, that help in lawsuits. Then the radionic specialist or you can put the photo of the person whom you intend to help on the stick pad. Leave the device on until results show. In fact, if it's a radionics device with a built-in G generator, you don't need to leave it on that long. Case number 6, in a charismatic church. Oh, magic in a church? Maybe. The preacher initiates a prayer to heal anybody in his congregation, anybody who is ready and who has faith. And some of the persons that he intends to heal are far away. He may do it one by one. And true, people correctly refer to this operation as being based on faith. But think about it. It is obvious also that this operation has the same common functional principle as magic. You will understand why. Now, what do have these cases in common? The first thing that comes into our minds is the following. Magic is action. We said it before. It's action that has the goal to cause an effect or a change in an individual, change in a group of individuals, change of a situation, often at a distance. The attempt to bring change is a characteristic of all living beings, and it is interaction with the environment that we all have. The second common denominator of these previous cases is that the target of the action appears to be distant. I've said it several times. For the time being, we can say magic is action at a distance, which means no more and no less that distance is irrelevant in magical work. And you can get the proof just by doing a chi transfer card. And in this respect, magic expands our capability to act upon our environment, from that which we perceive as being next to us with our hand, feet and eyes, to something which seems to be very far away. You will understand at a later time why I say it seems to be far away. Quite interesting.